I was in a team meeting when my phone started buzzing, then buzzing again and again. I glanced down. 7 missed calls, 12 text messages, all from people I hadn't talked to in years. Amanda, I'm so sorry to hear about your diagnosis. Praying for you. Stay strong. I just donated to your GoFundMe. Can't believe what you're going through. Let me know if you need anything. My stomach dropped. I excused myself from the meeting and stepped into the hallway. What diagnosis? What GoFundMe? I opened the first link someone had sent. It took me to a fundraising page. Help Amanda fight stage 4 cancer. The photo was me from my cousin's wedding 3 months ago, smiling, healthy, very much not dying. The description made me dizzy. Our beloved Amanda has been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. She's facing months of aggressive chemotherapy and mounting medical bills. As a single woman with no family support nearby, she's struggling to cover treatment costs while unable to work. Please help us give Amanda the fighting chance she deserves. Every dollar counts. #AmandaStrong. The fundraiser had been up for 2 weeks. It had raised $47,000. I'd never been diagnosed with cancer. I'd never had so much as an abnormal test result. I was perfectly healthy. The campaign was created by my sister, Jennifer, posted on behalf of Amanda's family, shared across Facebook, church groups, former classmates' networks. Thousands of people thought I was dying, and they donated nearly $50,000 to help, money that Jennifer had access to, money I'd never seen. I sat on the floor in that hallway and tried to breathe. Let me give you context. I'm 34 years old, a software engineer living in Austin. I haven't lived in my hometown for 12 years. I'm not particularly close with my family. We do holidays and occasional phone calls, but that's it. My sister, Jennifer, is 31. She's struggled financially for years. Multiple jobs, maxed out credit cards, always one emergency away from crisis. My parents have bailed her out more times than I can count. I've helped her too. Loaned her money that was never repaid, co-signed an apartment lease she skipped out on, leaving me liable, sent cash for emergencies that I later learned weren't real emergencies. A year ago, I stopped. Told her I couldn't keep funding her poor decisions. She called me selfish and heartless. We barely spoke after that. Now, she'd created a fake cancer fundraiser using my name and photo, and people were donating. I screenshotted everything, the fundraiser page, the Facebook posts, the comments from people sending prayers and money. Then I called Jennifer. "Hey sis," she sounded cheerful, too cheerful. "What's up?" "Take down the GoFundMe." Silence. Then, "What?" "The cancer fundraiser. Take it down now." "Amanda, I can explain." "I don't have cancer, Jennifer. I'm not sick. You're running a scam using my identity." "It's not a scam. I'm helping you." "Helping me with what? A disease I don't have?" "You don't understand. I needed the money. I was going to pay you back." "You told people I'm dying. You took $47,000 from people who think they're helping me fight cancer. That's fraud." "I was desperate. I was about to lose my apartment. I didn't know what else to do." "So you faked a cancer diagnosis and committed charity fraud?" "You're overreacting. I'm calling the police." I hung up. I filed a police report that afternoon, showed them everything. The fundraiser, the messages, proof that I'd never been diagnosed with cancer, medical records, recent checkups showing perfect health. The detective's name was Sarah Park. She looked tired but focused. "This is wire fraud, using interstate commerce to run a fraudulent scheme. It's federal. We'll need to loop in the FBI." FBI? The money came from all over the country. That makes it federal jurisdiction. How much was raised? $47,000 so far. She whistled. "That's a felony. Multiple felonies, actually. Wire fraud, identity theft, theft by deception." "What about the people who donated? Can they get refunds?" "GoFundMe will likely freeze the account once we notify them. They have fraud protection, but we'll need you to contact them directly as the alleged beneficiary." I called GoFundMe that night, explained the situation, sent the police report. They froze the account within 2 hours, issued a statement that the campaign was under investigation for fraud, started processing refunds. but not before Jennifer had withdrawn $32,000. The fallout was immediate and brutal. Jennifer's Facebook exploded with comments from people who donated, people who felt betrayed, scammed, used. "I donated $500 I couldn't afford because I thought you were helping your sister. You're disgusting. My grandmother died of pancreatic cancer. I donated in her memory. You lied about all of it? I shared this fundraiser with everyone I know. I'm mortified." Jennifer's response was to double down. She posted a long statement claiming I was in denial about my diagnosis and that she'd created the fundraiser to help me get treatment I was refusing. Detective Park called me. "She's making it worse. She's now claiming you're sick and in denial. That's additional fraud, doubling down on the false statements. What happens now?" "The FBI is opening a case. They'll investigate, build the evidence, and likely bring charges. Given the amount and the interstate nature, she's looking at serious federal time." "How serious?" "Wire fraud carries up to 20 years. She won't get that, she has no priors, but she's looking at real prison time, not probation." I thought about that. My sister in federal prison because she faked my cancer to steal money. Is there any way to resolve this without that? She'd need to return all the money, plead guilty, and accept whatever deal they offer. That's the only way this doesn't destroy your entire life. I tried to reach out to Jennifer one more time, sent her an email. "Jennifer, return the $32,000. Contact the FBI and cooperate fully. Plead guilty and accept whatever deal they offer. That's the only way this doesn't destroy your entire life. What you did was cruel, illegal, and hurt a lot of people who were trying to help someone they thought was dying. I don't know if I can ever forgive you, but I don't want you in prison. Return the money. Make this right. It's your only chance. Amanda." She never responded. Instead, she ran, left her apartment, disconnected her phone, disappeared. The FBI issued a warrant. She was a fugitive for 3 weeks before they found her at our parents' house in Oklahoma. She was arrested, charged with wire fraud, identity theft, and interstate transportation of stolen funds. She fought it, claimed I'd given her permission to create the fundraiser, that I knew about it, that we were splitting the money. The prosecutor pulled my phone records, my email, my social media, showed that I'd had no contact with Jennifer for months before the fundraiser went live, showed the timeline, fundraiser created, 2 weeks later I found out and immediately reported it. Her story fell apart. The trial took 8 months. I had to testify, had to sit in a courtroom and explain that no, I didn't have cancer, no, I never authorized this fundraiser, no, I never received any of the money. Jennifer's lawyer tried to paint me as vindictive, as someone who was punishing her sister for being poor. The prosecutor countered with the evidence, the medical records, the GoFundMe messages where donors talked about losing loved ones to cancer, the woman who donated her grocery money because she believed she was saving my life. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. Jennifer was sentenced to 4 years in federal prison, ordered to pay full restitution of $32,000, given 5 years probation after release. She cried in court, said she was sorry, said she made a terrible mistake. I didn't cry. I just felt empty. My parents blamed me. "You sent your own sister to prison," my mother said when she called after the sentencing. "She committed federal crimes. She was desperate. You could have helped her instead of destroying her life." "You could have helped her? Mom, she faked my cancer and stole money from people. She made donors think they were saving my life. A woman donated her disability check because she thought I was dying. "You could have dropped the charges." "No, I couldn't. The FBI brought the charges. The people she stole from deserve justice." "She's your sister." "And she used my identity to commit fraud. She destroyed my reputation. People I went to high school with think I scammed them. I've had former colleagues ask if I really have cancer and just don't want to talk about it. She did that." My mother hung up. The worst part wasn't the trial or the sentencing. It was the aftermath. I had to change my phone number because people kept calling asking about my treatment. I had to post a statement on social media explaining that I never had cancer, never authorized the fundraiser, and never received any money. Some people believed me, others didn't. I got messages accusing me of sending my sister to prison to keep the money. People who insisted I must be sick and just didn't want to admit it. Former friends who said I could have handled this privately instead of ruining her life. I lost a job opportunity because the hiring manager Googled my name and found articles about the fraud case. She assumed I was involved somehow. My therapist said it was a form of secondary trauma, being publicly associated with fraud I didn't commit, having my health questioned, dealing with the guilt of my sister's imprisonment even though I hadn't caused it. Jennifer served 3 years, got out on good behavior. She's living in a halfway house now, working retail, making minimum payments on the restitution she owes. We don't speak. My parents send occasional texts asking me to forgive and move on. I don't respond. I moved to Seattle a year after the trial. Fresh start, new job, new city, new life. I still Google my name sometimes. The articles about the fraud case still come up. Woman fakes her sister's cancer in $47K GoFundMe scam. My photo, my story. I've thought about legally changing my name, starting completely over, but that feels like letting her win, like letting the fraud define me. So instead, I'm rebuilding, slowly. I volunteer with a cancer research nonprofit, real work, helping real patients. I donated the money I would have spent on a name change to their programs. I'm in a support group for people whose identities were stolen by family members. Turns out there are more of us than you'd think. And I'm learning to trust again, to let people in, to stop assuming everyone is running a con. It's hard, but I'm doing it. Because here's what I know. Jennifer made her choices. She chose to fake my illness. She chose to steal from kind people. She chose to run instead of making it right. I chose to tell the truth, to protect the people she'd hurt, to stand up even when my family called me cruel. Those were my choices, and I stand by them. She's paying her debt, to society, to her victims, to herself. I'm just trying to live my life, the real one, not the dying of cancer version she invented for profit. And that's enough. So here's my question for you. If a family member faked a terminal illness in your name and raised thousands in donations, would you press charges knowing they'd go to prison, or find another way?